So what I was planning to do on Friday, and will now do for you today, is to talk about the 6 things that you must know to survive online marketing. Now, for some of you, this will not come as a great revelation. For some of you, this will come as a great revelation. And for others of you, you'll say, wow, I knew all that stuff, but hopefully I'll be able to throw in a little bit of super secret advanced nuggets to keep you interested if you already know everything. And if not, at least be able to kick your butt one good time because you're not doing all this stuff. I'm probably not doing all this stuff very effectively, but at least I'm doing a little bit of all of it. So, now there's a short version of this presentation, and then we could do Q&A for an hour, or we could do the long version. But I'm going to do the short version first, and then we'll kind of take the temperature of the room. So here, real fast, are 6 things that you must know. SEO, important. Pay-per-click advertising. Copywriting. Analytics, conversion, and testing, or what I'm trying to get people to call ACT, and I will fail. I couldn't get them to call search engine optimization, search engine positioning, or SEP, because it made people think about septic tanks. I've lived with one, so I appreciate why you wouldn't want to think about them. And email and follow-up marketing. Follow-up marketing is really the bigger picture, but people understand when you say email marketing what you mean. That's sending people email. And joint venture and affiliate, which is something that I would venture a guess that most people doing business on the internet haven't touched. And that's a shame, because that's the one thing that can save you if everything else fails you. Click. Okay. So why these things are so important is because we are in a contest, are we not, when we are trying to sell stuff on the internet? That's what I do for a living. I sell stuff on the internet. I teach, but I have to sell stuff on the internet to actually get paid. It's a resources game. Whoever makes the most effective use of their resources is going to win in the long run. This becomes especially clear when you look at pay-per-click advertising and who's able to make money on AdWords or Yahoo search marketing or whatever Microsoft calls the Bing thing. Bing words. Can't remember. Sorry, I forgot. Ad Center. So, you might be thinking you found this perfect, safe little niche and there's no competition and everything's great. That could change tomorrow. Brad Fallon found this perfect little niche selling wedding favors and was smart enough to recognize that before the competition showed up, he should be the one that sold to the competition and started wholesaling. That's on the business side, and I try to avoid talking about the business side of stuff because that's a real snoozer for a lot of people. But anybody remember the little story about the grasshopper and the ants, and the grasshopper starved and died because the ants wouldn't take him in the winter, or did they? It depends on which version of the story you read, actually. They made it in a cartoon where the ants saved the grasshopper and they all danced around. I think in the original, the grasshopper just died. But the grasshopper was in this nice, safe little niche and didn't even think that he should be preparing for winter to come. But winter will come. Competition will come to the markets that you're in. I don't care how weird and screwy and esoteric your niche is, or if you're in a million niches. It's going to come. The competition is coming, and it's not going to get easier, it's going to get harder. Especially now. In a down economy, what are people doing? Losing their jobs and trying to start businesses. Is it the best time in the world to start a business? I don't know. But I know that a lot of people are out there trying to figure out how to make some money right now. And there were already like a million monkeys out there banging on keyboards trying to beat you at what you do, trying to make money on the internet and take some away from you. It's harder to sell stuff now, isn't it? If you sell anything, isn't it like a little bit, you got to give a little bit more to get a little bit more? And the problem is price, just like dropping your prices isn't a strategy. I know all kinds of retailers that are trying that right now, and they're getting ready to go out of business. And they'd honestly be better off doing a better job at these 6 things and maintaining their margins so that they could stay in business. We're going to have lots of lessons to talk about after this September 9th thing, and one of them is going to be about marketing and doing this stuff to make your business grow. So I hope everybody is semi-familiar with the concept of a sales funnel, that you get some traffic, they come to your website. They come from somewhere, and that's an important thing that we often ignore. We don't think about where they come from, and we don't think about how we can influence what happens on those things, but I'll talk about that stuff. They either buy or they don't buy, and maybe they opt in if you give them a chance to do that, or they fill out a big form and become a lead, or they don't become a lead. Most of what I do is lead generation first, followed by selling stuff on the internet. And everything that you improve at any stage of that funnel improves the outcome. So if you get more traffic, and you get more of them to look at your product page, and more of them added to the cart, and more of them fill out the credit card form, and more of them actually go all the way through the transaction, you get more money, right? So if you can get more people to go from filling out the first form to the second page of the shopping cart, or if you get more people to click, add to cart, then more likely you're going to sell more stuff. Now, Andy Edmonds showed some interesting stuff this morning with the video marketing test, for those that saw that, where in fact putting videos on the product pages, and after all the testing that they did, they actually cut the add to cart down a little bit, but they improved the amount of people that were actually finishing the cart, and in the end, they actually ended up with not just more people buying, but they also had a higher average sale, so people bought more of the products that they were looking at. So that doesn't necessarily mean that if you test something and one thing changes in the funnel, that things are all bad. You have to test the whole thing through. So these are 6 things that you must know. 6 things that if you want to compete and survive in what's coming, and a lot of you are already in some cutthroat markets. I've talked to people that do mortgages and credit cards and Viagra, weenie lifters, and all that kind of stuff. Those are some cutthroat markets. Those are markets that I go, no, really? You want me to do that? Okay. But it absolutely is not necessary for you to master everything, but you got to at least know enough about some of these things to survive, because other people will be doing it, and they will be getting what from their profits. They'll have resources to compete with you. And if they can spend more on AdWords because they make more money, they win, you lose, right? If they're doing everything else as well as you do. But focus in on what makes the most impact first. Depending on what kind of business you're in, and depending on how much love or hate Google or whoever has for you, you might want to work more on copywriting or email marketing or joint venture and affiliate marketing. I mean, for me, I teach people about SEO, right? But actually using SEO to find people that want to learn about SEO is like the crappiest way to get people that want to learn about it, and the crappiest way crappiest place to try and do SEO, because there are literally 1 million monkeys banging on keyboards, plus several hundred world-class experts. And there's a lot of competition for not that many people actually searching. So for me, joint venture and affiliate marketing, email, copywriting, all that other stuff is a lot more important. So it depends. SEO. Why is SEO important? We're going to talk about all 6 of these things in turn. Do I even need to tell you why SEO is important? Well, I think it's it's obvious, but it's not. It's free traffic, and that's why everybody thinks it's important, right? I can't afford to buy traffic. There's no way I'd ever be able to get a joint venture partner. I'm afraid to talk on the phone, whatever, blah, 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 all the reasons why we think that SEO is all important. I've always hated being like an SEO guy, because I do all this other stuff too, and I'd rather talk about a lot of things, but everybody wants to come and ask me SEO questions. And so I may have a warped perspective, but it seems like in online marketing, everyone is so obsessed with SEO that they're not seeing the big picture. Especially when I see people worrying about the umpty third percentage of keyword density, which keyword density isn't even real, on their 99th web page, when they could be trying to figure out, how do I get more people to opt in to my email list, or how do I get more people to buy my products when they're on my site? It's a lot easier to double the conversion on a site than to double the traffic. So it's not really free traffic anyway. You got to work for it, right? I mean, I can remember when it was practically free. Those were the good old days. I was actually #1 on InfoSeek for the word sex for 15 minutes. The sex lasted longer than my rankings. I just put that out there. But SEO is important, not because it's free traffic, but because search is important. A lot